My brother's bride said my 8-year-old daughter couldn't be a flower girl for being too ugly, and the wedding ended right there. I was helping Cassandra with her veil when she suddenly snapped. I can't have Hannah walking down that aisle looking like that. She'll ruin my $40,000 photographer's vision. My daughter froze mid-twirl in her flower girl dress, her smile vanishing. Hannah was born with a birthmark across her cheek that we've always told her makes her special. Seriously, Danielle, couldn't you have gotten that thing lasered off before my day? She doesn't fit my aesthetic. The room went silent. My mom dropped the steaming iron. 3 bridesmaids stared in shock as Hannah's eyes filled with tears. What Cassandra didn't know was that I'd been recording everything on my phone for the past hour, documenting her meltdown for my brother Jonathan, who was getting ready downstairs. But here's what made it worse. Hannah wasn't just standing there crying. She looked up at Cassandra with those big brown eyes and whispered, "I'm sorry I'm ugly, Aunt Cassandra. I didn't know." That broke something in me. I calmly hit send, sharing the video to our family group chat titled Jonathan's Wedding Day. Within seconds, my phone exploded with responses. Jonathan's message was just 3 words: wedding is canceled. But before he could get upstairs, Cassandra kept going. Thank God Jonathan and I won't have kids that look like that. Can you imagine? I'd die of embarrassment at school pickup. The bridesmaids gasped. One of them, Stephanie, actually stepped back from Cassandra like she was contagious. I watched my 8-year-old daughter's face crumble completely. She ran to the bathroom and locked the door, sobbing so hard I could hear it through the walls. Look, I need to explain something about Hannah's birthmark before we get any further into this disaster. It's this port wine stain that covers about 1/3 of her left cheek. When she was born, the doctors told us it was harmless, just a cluster of blood vessels close to the skin. They said some people choose to get laser treatment for cosmetic reasons, but it's not medically necessary or anything like that. We never thought twice about it. To us, it was just part of who Hannah was. Like, you know how everyone has something that makes them uniquely them? That was Hannah's thing. We told her she was beautiful from day one. We told her it made her special, and she believed us. Until today. But apparently, to Cassandra, it was some kind of catastrophic flaw that would ruin her Pinterest perfect wedding aesthetic. I mean, this woman had spent the last 6 months obsessing over every single detail of this wedding. And I'm not exaggerating when I say every single detail. The flowers had to be a specific shade of blush pink that she'd picked out from like 100 different samples. The napkins had to be folded in this complicated origami style that took the venue staff 3 practice sessions to get right. She made the bridesmaids go to 3 different spray tan appointments because the first 2 places didn't get the color exactly how she wanted it. She had a Pinterest board with over 2,000 pins. She had spreadsheets color-coded by category. She had a timeline broken down by the hour, then by the half hour, then eventually by 15-minute increments. My mom joked once that Cassandra was more organized about this wedding than NASA was about launching rockets. My dad added that at least NASA's missions had a purpose beyond Instagram likes. And now she was standing there in her $8,000 designer wedding dress from some exclusive boutique in Manhattan, telling my daughter she was too ugly to be part of the ceremony. The dress, by the way, required 3 fittings because Cassandra kept changing her mind about the bustle. 3 fittings. The seamstress probably charged extra just for dealing with her. I know because Jonathan mentioned the additional fees once, looking stressed about money. He'd already been stretching his budget for this wedding, but Cassandra kept adding expenses. "It's just one day," she'd say whenever he brought up costs. "Just one special day. We can't compromise on quality." But to her, quality apparently didn't include basic human decency toward an 8-year-old. I remember when Cassandra first asked Hannah to be her flower girl. This was like 7 months ago, back when everything still seemed normal. Hannah was so excited she literally cried happy tears. She jumped up and down screaming, "I'm gonna be a flower girl! I'm gonna be a flower girl!" For like 20 minutes straight. She called all her friends from school. She told her teacher. She drew pictures of herself in a flower girl dress during art class for weeks. Cassandra had smiled at her then, told her she'd make the perfect flower girl, told her she'd look like a princess. She even took Hannah shopping for the dress, let her pick out the style she wanted, made a whole special day of it. I remember thinking at the time how sweet it was, how Cassandra was really trying to bond with Jonathan's family, how maybe she was nervous about becoming part of our family, and this was her way of reaching out. Fast forward to today, and here we were. The bridal suite was on the 2nd floor of this fancy historic venue that Cassandra had picked because it had the perfect lighting for photos, floor-to-ceiling windows, crystal chandeliers, marble floors, the works. The venue fee alone was $15,000, non-refundable. Cassandra had insisted on it, despite there being several beautiful places that cost half as much. "This one has the right aesthetic," she she'd said, showing Jonathan photo after photo from weddings held there. Jonathan had tried to suggest more affordable options. His salary was good, but not $40,000 wedding good. But Cassandra's parents had offered to help, insisting they wanted their daughter to have her dream day. Now, I was wondering if they were regretting that decision. There were 5 people in that room when Cassandra said what she said. Me, my mom, Hannah, and 3 bridesmaids. Stephanie, who I mentioned before, plus 2 others, Jessica and Lauren. Jessica had been Cassandra's sorority sister, though they hadn't been close until Cassandra needed bridesmaids. Lauren was her co-worker at the marketing firm where Cassandra worked. They'd all been standing there, steaming out wrinkles in their champagne-colored bridesmaid dresses when Cassandra just, went off. It started earlier, actually. About an hour earlier. Hannah had spilled a tiny drop of juice on her flower girl dress, literally the size of a penny, barely visible on the white fabric. And Cassandra freaked out, not in a concerned way, in an angry, accusatory way. She started yelling about how everything had to be perfect, how she couldn't have anything going wrong, how she'd spent too much money and time for things to get ruined. Her voice got shrill, and her face went red, and everyone in the room just kind of froze. "Do you know how much this wedding cost?" She'd screamed at Hannah, who'd started crying immediately. "Do you have any idea? And you're just going to be careless and spill things?" Hannah was 8. She'd been drinking apple juice from one of those little boxes. Accidents happen. My mom managed to get the stain out with some club soda and a napkin. She worked on it for 5 minutes while Cassandra hovered over her, breathing heavily, clearly on the edge of a panic attack or a rage meltdown. I couldn't tell which. You couldn't even tell there had been a stain when my mom was done. The dress looked perfect, but Cassandra was still on edge, pacing around the room, checking and rechecking her makeup, her hair, her dress, muttering to herself about timelines and photographers and how nothing could go wrong. That's when I started recording. I had this feeling, like when you can sense a storm coming, like something bad was about to happen, and I needed proof of it. And I figured if Cassandra had a complete meltdown, Jonathan should see it before he committed his life to her, before he stood at that altar and promised forever to someone who might not be who he thought she was. I pretended I was just scrolling through my phone, but really I had the camera pointed at the room, recording everything. I kept the phone angled down a bit so nobody would notice the red recording dot. The room was tense. Jessica and Lauren kept exchanging glances. Stephanie was biting her lip. My mom was hovering near Hannah, protective, and Cassandra was spiraling. And then Hannah did her little twirl. She was so proud of her dress, Despite Cassandra's freak out earlier, Hannah was still excited, still thinking this was going to be the best day ever. It was white with little pink flowers embroidered on the skirt. She had matching pink shoes that she'd picked out herself, these little ballet flats, with tiny bows on them. Her hair was curled and pinned back with tiny flower clips that matched the embroidery. She looked adorable, absolutely adorable. She spun around and said, "Aunt Cassandra, do you like my dress? Am I pretty?" She said it with such hope in her voice, such innocence. She wanted Cassandra's approval so badly. That's when Cassandra snapped. "I can't have Hannah walking down that aisle looking like that. She'll ruin my $40,000 photographer's vision." The way she said it, too. Not quietly, not like she was trying to be discreet or spare Hannah's feelings, just loud and harsh and mean. Like Hannah was a piece of furniture that didn't match the decor. Hannah stopped spinning mid-turn. Her smile disappeared like someone had flipped a switch. She looked confused, like she didn't understand what Cassandra meant, like she was trying to process the words, but they didn't make sense. Then Cassandra kept going. "Seriously, Danielle, couldn't you have gotten that thing lasered off before my day? She doesn't fit my aesthetic." That's when Hannah's face changed. That's when she understood what Cassandra was talking about. That's when it clicked that Cassandra was talking about her birthmark, about her face, about her. Her hand went up to her cheek slowly, touching the port wine stain, like she'd forgotten it was there, like she needed to feel it to confirm what Cassandra was saying. My mom dropped the iron she was holding. It clattered against the hardwood floor, loud in the sudden silence. Steam hissed out of it, curling up toward the ceiling. Jessica and Lauren both gasped, their hands flying to their mouths. Stephanie took a step back, literally recoiling from Cassandra like she'd said something so horrible that physical distance was required. Hannah's eyes filled with tears, not slowly, all at once. Her eyes just flooded with tears and her bottom lip started trembling. And Cassandra just kept going. She was on a roll now, like she couldn't stop herself. Like all the stress and pressure she'd been under for months was just pouring out in the worst possible way. I mean, I tried to hint at it before. I sent you all those articles about birthmark removal. I thought you'd get the message. But here we are, and she still looks like like that, and my photographer specifically said he wanted a cohesive color palette and aesthetic theme throughout all the photos. My hand was shaking as I held my phone, but I kept recording. I kept the camera steady even though I wanted to throw it across the room and go to my daughter. Hannah whispered, "I'm sorry I'm ugly, Aunt Cassandra. I didn't know." Her voice was so small, so broken, so completely destroyed. She didn't even sound like herself. She sounded like a little girl who just learned that the world was cruel, that people could be mean, that something she'd always been told was special was actually something to be ashamed of. That's when I stopped recording and hit send. My thumb moved before my brain could even process what I was doing. The video uploaded to our family group chat in seconds. Jonathan was in there, my mom, my dad, Jonathan's dad, a few aunts and uncles. My phone immediately started buzzing with responses. My dad, "What the hell?" My aunt, "Is this real?" Jonathan's dad, "Where are you right now?" And then Jonathan, "Wedding is canceled." Just like that, 3 words. Wedding is canceled. I looked up at Cassandra. She had no idea what I'd just done. She was still ranting. Thank God Jonathan and I won't have kids that look like that. Can you imagine? I'd die of embarrassment at school pickup. All the other moms would be staring. People would ask me what's wrong with my kid. She said it like Hannah wasn't even in the room. Like she wasn't a person with feelings who could hear every word. Jessica put her hand over her mouth. Lauren looked like she was going to cry. Stephanie took another step back, putting actual physical distance between herself and Cassandra. And then Hannah broke. She didn't cry loudly. She didn't scream. She just made this sound, this horrible choking sob, and then she ran. She ran out of the bridal suite, down the hallway, and locked herself in the bathroom. We could hear her crying through the walls, these gut-wrenching sobs that sounded like they were being torn from her chest. I moved toward the bathroom, but my mom was already there. "Hannah, sweetie, open the door," my mom said softly, her own voice cracking. "I'm ugly," Hannah sobbed from inside. "I'm ugly and I ruin everything." My mom pressed her forehead against the bathroom door. "You're not ugly, baby. You're beautiful. So beautiful." Behind us, Cassandra huffed. Actually huffed, like this was all such an inconvenience for her. "Oh, come on, she'll get over it. Kids are resilient." That's when I turned around and looked at her, really looked at her. This woman was going to be my sister-in-law. This woman was going to be part of our family. This woman had just destroyed my 8-year-old daughter's self-esteem and acted like it was no big deal. "Get out," I said. Cassandra blinked. "What?" "Get out of this room, now." "Excuse me, this is my bridal suite. It's my wedding day. You don't get to tell me." The door burst open. Jonathan stood there in his tux, his face red, his jaw clenched. He was holding his phone, and I could see the video still playing on his screen. He looked at Cassandra, then at me, then at the bathroom door where Hannah was still sobbing. "Pack your things," Jonathan said to Cassandra. His voice was eerily calm. "You have 30 minutes to leave this venue." Cassandra laughed. Like actually laughed. "Jonathan, don't be dramatic." I was stressed. I said some things I didn't mean. Every bride has moments like this. You can't seriously call off our wedding over you calling my niece ugly? Jonathan's voice got louder. Over you saying you'd be embarrassed to have children who look like her? Over you telling an 8-year-old child that she ruins things just by existing? I didn't say she ruins things. I said she'd ruin the photos. Get out. Cassandra's face changed. The fake sweetness disappeared. Her real personality, the one she'd been hiding from Jonathan for months, came right to the surface. "You're being ridiculous," she spat. "Do you know how much money has gone into this wedding? How many people are downstairs right now waiting for us? You can't just cancel a wedding because of one stupid comment about a kid's face." Jonathan's hands clenched into fists. "One stupid comment? I just watched you destroy my niece. I watched you call her ugly. I watched you say you'd be embarrassed to have kids like her. And now you're standing here acting like it's no big deal? It's not a big deal. She's fine. Kids forget things." "I won't forget," Jonathan said quietly. "I'll never forget this, and I'll never forgive it. We're done, Cassandra. We're done." He pulled out his phone and started making calls. First the officiant, then the DJ, then the caterers. "Yes, hi, this is Jonathan Pierce. I need to cancel, yes, the wedding today. No, we're not going through with it. Yes, I understand there's no refund. That's fine." Cassandra tried to grab his phone. "Jonathan, stop. Stop it right now. You're going to regret this." "The only thing I regret," Jonathan said, pulling his phone away from her, "is not seeing who you really were sooner." The bridesmaids were still standing there, frozen, not knowing what to do. Cassandra's parents showed up about 15 minutes later. Her dad was red-faced and sweating. Her mom looked like she'd been crying. "What's going on?" Cassandra's dad demanded. "We got 5 frantic calls saying the wedding's off." Jonathan pulled out his phone and showed them the video, made them watch the whole thing. Cassandra's mom's face went white. "Cassie, you didn't." "It's not a big deal, Mom. Everyone's being so dramatic." Her dad watched the video twice. Then he looked at his daughter like he didn't recognize her. "You said those things to a child?" Dad Dad, you don't understand. I had a vision for this wedding and— A vision? Her dad's voice rose. You had a vision that was more important than basic human decency? Cassandra crossed her arms. Whatever. This is all going to blow over. Jonathan will calm down. We'll postpone a few months and— There's no postponement, Jonathan said. I already called the officiant and canceled. It's done. That's when Cassandra started to panic. Like, really panic. She started pulling at her dress, her hair, pacing around the room. No, this can't be happening. This is my day. My day. Everything was supposed to be perfect. Jonathan's dad arrived then. He'd been getting ready in a different suite with Jonathan's groomsmen. He took one look at the situation and sighed. Son, can I talk to you outside for a minute? They left the bridal suite together. I stayed with my mom, who was still trying to coax Hannah out of the bathroom. After about 10 minutes, Hannah finally unlocked the door. Her face was red and blotchy. Her eyes were swollen. Her nose was running. My mom pulled her into a hug and held her tight. I'm sorry, Grandma, Hannah whimpered. I'm sorry, I'm ugly. You stop that right now, my mom said fiercely. You are not ugly, you hear me? You are beautiful. That woman is sick in the head, and nothing she said was true. Hannah buried her face in my mom's shoulder and cried some more. Cassandra's parents left after that, her mother crying, her father looking disgusted with his own daughter. The bridesmaids quietly started gathering their things. Jessica kept glancing at Cassandra like she was seeing her for the first time. Lauren wouldn't even look at her. Stephanie came up to me. I'm so sorry, she whispered. If I'd known she was like this, I never would have agreed to be in the wedding. It's not your fault, I told her. Is Hannah okay? I looked at my daughter, still clinging to my mom. She will be, eventually. Jonathan and his dad came back into the room. Jonathan looked calmer now, but there was this hardness in his eyes that hadn't been there before. The venue's already paid for, Jonathan said. Non-refundable deposit. So we're not letting it go to waste. Cassandra perked up. So you're going through with the wedding? No, Jonathan said flatly. We're turning it into Hannah's day. What? You heard me. Hannah's going to wear her flower girl dress. She's going to walk down that aisle. She's going to be the princess she deserves to be. And you? Jonathan looked at Cassandra with disgust. You're going to leave now. Cassandra looked like she wanted to argue, but Jonathan's dad stepped forward. The contract clearly states that if the bride or groom cancels the wedding for reasons of their own misconduct, they forfeit all rights to the venue and services. Verbal abuse of a minor definitely falls under misconduct. That's not fair. Life's not fair, Jonathan said. You should know. You just proved it to an 8-year-old. Cassandra grabbed her bag and stormed out, still wearing her wedding dress. We heard her heels clicking angrily down the hallway, and then it was just us. Jonathan knelt down in front of Hannah. Hey, princess. Hannah looked at him with those tear-stained cheeks. I'm sorry I ruined your wedding, Uncle Jonathan. You didn't ruin anything, Jonathan said softly. You saved me. You showed me who Cassandra really was before I made the biggest mistake of my life. You're my hero, Hannah. You know that? Hannah sniffled. Really? Really. And you know what? Today's gonna be your day. You're gonna walk down that aisle like the beautiful princess you are. You're going to throw flower petals everywhere, and we're gonna take so many pictures that you'll get sick of. Smiling. A tiny smile appeared on Hannah's face. Can I really? Absolutely. Jonathan stood up and extended his hand. Come on, let's go show everyone how beautiful you are. Hannah took his hand, and they walked out together. The photographer met us in the hallway. He was this guy in his 50s with kind eyes and 3 daughters of his own. We learned. I heard everything, he said quietly. That was completely unacceptable. And I want you to know I'm going to give Hannah the best photos she's ever seen, free of charge. You don't have to do that, I started to say. I want to, he insisted. I have girls of my own. If someone talked to them like that, he trailed off, his jaw clenching. Let me do this, please. So that's what we did. We went downstairs to the main venue. It was this gorgeous room with high ceilings and huge windows letting in natural light, white chairs set up in rows, flowers everywhere, the wedding arch decorated with blush pink roses. Most of the guests had already arrived. They were sitting in their seats, dressed in their fancy clothes, waiting for a wedding that wasn't going to happen. Jonathan walked to the front of the room and asked for everyone's attention. I need to make an announcement, he said into the microphone the DJ provided. There's not going to be a wedding today. Gasps and murmurs rippled through the crowd. The woman I was supposed to marry showed her true colors this morning. She verbally attacked my 8-year-old niece, calling her ugly because of a birthmark on her face. She said she'd be embarrassed to have children who looked like her. The room went silent. You could hear a pin drop. So the wedding is canceled, but the venue is paid for and we're not going to let it go to waste. Instead, we're going to celebrate someone who actually deserves to feel special today. My niece, Hannah. He gestured to Hannah, who was standing next to me, still in her flower girl dress, looking nervous and confused. Hannah, come here, sweetie. Hannah walked up to Jonathan slowly. He knelt down and gave her a hug. Today is your day, he said loudly enough for everyone to hear. You're going to walk down this aisle like the princess you are. You're going to throw flower petals, and we're all going to celebrate how beautiful beautiful and wonderful you are. And then something amazing happened. The entire room started clapping. All 150 guests stood up and applauded. Some of them were crying, some were smiling, but they were all showing Hannah that she mattered, that she was special, that she was beautiful. Hannah's face lit up. That smile, the one that had disappeared in the bridal suite, came back. The DJ started playing music, not wedding music, Disney princess music, Hannah's favorite. Hannah walked down that aisle throwing flower petals, and every single person in that room cheered for her. They took pictures with their phones. They called out encouragement. "You're beautiful, Hannah. You're a princess. We love you, sweetheart." The photographer was right there capturing every moment. Hannah twirling, Hannah laughing, Hannah finally looking happy again. When she got to the end of the aisle, Jonathan picked her up and spun her around. She giggled, throwing her head back, flower petals flying everywhere. My mom was crying. I was crying. Hell, half the room was crying. After the aisle walk, the photographer set up a proper photo shoot. He had Hannah pose in different spots around the venue, by the windows with the natural light, on the stairs leading to the second floor. In front of the flower wall, Cassandra had insisted on for photos. "You're a natural," the photographer kept saying. "The camera loves you. That birthmark, it makes you unique. It makes you unforgettable." Hannah was beaming, absolutely beaming. We brought out the wedding cake. It was this huge 5-tier thing with fondant flowers. Cassandra had agonized over the design for months, and we let Hannah smash a piece of it. She'd always wanted to do a cake smash after seeing those first birthday photos online. So we set up a small table, put a piece of cake in front of her, and let her go to town. She got frosting everywhere, in her hair, on her face, all over her dress. And she laughed the entire time. The photographer captured it all. Guests came up to talk to Hannah, to tell her how beautiful she was, to take pictures with her. Old ladies pinched her cheeks and called her a doll. Little kids asked if she was a real princess. Jonathan's groomsmen, who'd been standing awkwardly to the side, ended up playing games with Hannah. They taught her how to do silly dances. They made her laugh until she couldn't breathe. It was perfect. Around 3 p.m., things started to wind down. Guests began leaving, but not before stopping to hug Hannah and tell her how special she was. That's when Jonathan's dad pulled him aside. I was standing close enough to hear the conversation. My mom was helping Hannah wash the cake frosting out of her hair in the bathroom, so I was just kind of lingering nearby. "Son, there's something you need to know," Jonathan's dad said quietly. Jonathan looked at him. "What is it, Dad?" His dad pulled out his phone and showed him something. "I did some digging after you told me about the trust fund. I wanted to know if Cassandra knew about it before you proposed." And she knew. She'd been researching your grandmother's estate for months before you even started dating. There's a whole Facebook message thread between her and her friends where she talks about it. Jonathan's face went pale. "What?" "Look." His dad showed him the screenshots. She knew about the $8 million trust fund. She knew it would be released when you got married. And she was planning to divorce you exactly 1 year and 1 day after the wedding to claim half. Jonathan read through the messages, his hands shaking. She was scamming me from the beginning. "I'm sorry, son. I know this is hard to hear." "Hard to hear?" Jonathan laughed bitterly. "I thought she loved me. I thought we were building a life together. And the whole time she was just, what? Playing a role? It looks that way." Jonathan sat down heavily in one of the chairs. "There's more, isn't there? You wouldn't look this serious if that was it." His dad hesitated. "She has someone else. Someone named Trevor Harrison. They've been together for over a year." "Over a year?" "We've been together for 11 months. She was with him first. And according to these messages, she's still with him. She told him she was at a business conference this weekend." Jonathan closed his eyes. "So she's been cheating on me this entire time?" "Yes." As Jonathan's dad was showing him all this information on his phone, we heard a loud crash from upstairs. It came from the gift storage room, where all the wedding presents had been placed earlier that morning. And then Hannah screamed. Not a happy scream, a terrified, horrified scream. Everyone who was still in the venue rushed toward the stairs. I got there first, taking the steps 2 at a time. When I burst into the gift storage room, Hannah was standing in the middle of the floor, surrounded by scattered boxes and wrapping paper. One of the gift boxes had fallen and broken open, spilling its contents everywhere. But it wasn't the broken box that made Hannah scream. It was what was inside. Photos. Explicit photos of Cassandra with another man. They were scattered all over the floor. Some were just regular couple photos, but others were things an 8-year-old should never, ever see. Hannah had her hands pressed over her mouth, her eyes wide with shock. I immediately moved in front of her, blocking her view. "Don't look, baby. Don't look." My mom appeared in the doorway behind me, took one look at the situation, and immediately grabbed Hannah's shoulders. "Come on, sweetheart, let's go get some fresh air." Hannah was shaking. "Mommy, what were those pictures? Why was Aunt Cassandra—" "We'll talk about it later, okay? Right now, let's just go outside." My mom ushered Hannah out of the room and down the hallway. I could hear her chatting brightly about something, anything, trying to distract Hannah from what she'd just seen. Jonathan came into the room next, followed by his dad and several of the groomsmen. "What happened?" We heard Hannah scream. Jonathan stopped mid-sentence when he saw the photos. "Oh my God," one of the groomsmen muttered. Jonathan bent down and started picking up the photos. His hands were shaking. His face had gone completely white. That's when we noticed they weren't just random photos. They were numbered, like someone had organized them chronologically, and mixed in with the photos were plane tickets. 2 tickets to Bali, leaving next week. Jonathan picked them up. "These aren't in my name." He looked at the passenger information. Cassandra Montgomery and Trevor Harrison. "Trevor Harrison?" I repeated. "Who the hell is Trevor Harrison?" Jonathan flipped over one of the photos. There was a date written on the back in Cassandra's handwriting, 3 months ago. 3 months ago, Jonathan and Cassandra were deep into wedding planning, sending out save the dates, booking the caterer, finalizing the guest list. And apparently, Cassandra was also taking intimate photos with someone named Trevor Harrison. "She's been seeing someone else," Jonathan said quietly. His voice sounded hollow, empty. "This whole time." I picked up another photo. In this one, Cassandra was wearing an engagement ring, but it wasn't the ring Jonathan gave her. This was a completely different ring, bigger diamond, different setting. "Jonathan," I said carefully, "look at this." He took the photo from me and stared at it. Then he turned it over. The date on the back was even earlier, 6 months ago. "She was engaged to someone else," Jonathan whispered. "Before me? Or at the same time?" His dad was looking through more of the photos. "These go back over a year, son." Jonathan sat down hard on the floor, surrounded by evidence of Cassandra's betrayal. "I don't understand. Why would someone do this? Why would someone go to all this trouble?" That's when Stephanie appeared in the doorway. She'd stayed behind after the other bridesmaids left, helping clean up the bridal suite. She saw the photos on the floor and her face went pale. "Oh no. Do you know about this?" Jonathan asked. "Did you know she was cheating on me?" "I didn't know she was cheating," Stephanie said carefully, "but I knew something was off. She was always on her phone, texting someone. She'd smile at her screen and then quickly turn it away when anyone got close. I thought maybe she was planning surprise honeymoon details or something." Jonathan picked up the plane tickets again. "These are dated for next week. Our honeymoon was supposed to be in 2 weeks, in Hawaii." "So she was going to Bali with this Trevor guy before coming to Hawaii with you?" I asked. "Looks like it." Stephanie crouched down and started helping pick up the photos. "Wait, I recognize this guy, Trevor. I've seen him before." "Where?" Jonathan demanded. "At that charity gala 3 months ago. Remember, Cassandra dragged me along because she needed a +1? You couldn't make it because of that work conference." "Yeah, I remember. She was annoyed I had to miss it." "Well, Trevor was there. Cassandra introduced him as a business associate, said they were working on some investment opportunity together." Jonathan's dad's phone buzzed. He looked at it, frowned, and then showed the screen to Jonathan. "Security camera footage from this morning. I had them send it over." Jonathan took the phone and watched the video. His expression got darker and darker. "What is it?" I asked. "Cassandra, carrying that gift box up here herself at 6 a.m. this morning." "She brought her own wedding gift?" Stephanie looked confused. "It's not a gift," Jonathan said flatly. "Someone sent her these photos to expose her, and she tried to hide them before anyone could see. But she must have panicked and forgot about them later." His dad nodded. "That's my guess too. Someone wanted you to know the truth." We finished collecting all the photos and tickets. There were probably 30 or 40 photos total. Some innocent, some definitely not. And the tickets. And what looked like hotel confirmations for Bali. Jonathan stood up holding the evidence. "I need to figure out who Trevor Harrison is." "Already on it," one of the groomsmen said, typing on his phone. "Trevor Harrison, age 34, works in finance, lives in Manhattan, has a pretty active social media presence." He showed us Trevor's Instagram, public profile, lots of photos. And there, in his recent posts, was Cassandra, "Celebrating 1 year with my beautiful fiancé," the caption read, posted 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago, Cassandra was in full wedding planning mode with Jonathan, cake tasting, final dress fitting, addressing invitations, and she was celebrating her 1-year anniversary with Trevor Harrison. "She's engaged to both of us," Jonathan said in disbelief. "How is that even possible?" "She's been playing both of you," his dad said grimly. "The question is why?" That's when we heard shouting from downstairs, a man's voice angry and confused. "Where is she? I was told she'd be here." Jonathan and I looked at each other. Then we rushed downstairs. In the main entrance of the venue stood a man matching Trevor Harrison's Instagram photos. Tall, dark hair, expensive suit. He looked furious. and he was looking around at the wedding decorations with dawning horror on his face. "What the hell is this?" Trevor demanded when he saw us. "Why does this look like a wedding venue?" Jonathan walked up to him slowly. "Are you Trevor Harrison?" "Yeah, that's me. Who are you?" "I'm Jonathan Pierce, Cassandra's fiancé." Trevor blinked. "You're what?" "Cassandra and I were supposed to get married today, about 2 hours ago, actually." All the color drained from Trevor's face. "That's impossible. Cassandra is my fiancé. We've been together for over a year. Apparently, she's been busy," Jonathan said bitterly. Trevor looked around at the venue again. The flowers, the chairs, the remains of Hannah's celebration. "She told me she was at a business conference this weekend in Boston. She said she'd be back tomorrow and we could finalize our plans for Bali." "Bali," Jonathan repeated. "Let me guess. You're leaving next week?" "Yeah. How did you—" Trevor stopped. "Wait, did she book 2 trips?" "Actually, I think she only booked 1, with you. Our honeymoon was supposed to be later. Hawaii, not Bali." Trevor sat down heavily in one of the chairs. "I don't understand. Why would she do this? That's what we're all trying to figure out," I said. Jonathan showed Trevor the photos, the plane tickets, all of it. Trevor's face went from confusion to anger to something like devastation. He sat there flipping through the evidence, his hands shaking. "She played us both," Trevor finally said. "She's been playing us this entire time." "Looks like it," Jonathan agreed. They both turned to look at Cassandra, who was still standing near the entrance like a trapped animal deciding whether to run or fight. "When did you meet her?" Jonathan asked Trevor. "About 14 months ago, at a networking event for finance professionals. She came up to me, we talked, exchanged numbers. Started dating a few weeks later." "We started dating 11 months ago," Jonathan said. "So she overlapped." "Yeah?" Trevor rubbed his face. "She told me she was between jobs. Said she was looking for investment opportunities. I thought I was being helpful. That's when something clicked in my head." "Wait, investment opportunities?" Trevor looked at me. "Yeah. She said her family had this tech startup that needed funding. Showed me business plans, projections, the whole thing. Said if I invested early, I'd triple my money within 2 years." Jonathan's face hardened. "How much did you give her?" Trevor hesitated. Then, $200,000. The room went silent. "I'm sorry, what?" Jonathan said. $200,000? "She was convincing," Trevor said defensively. "She had documentation, incorporation papers, letters from supposed investors. She made it look legitimate." I thought about what Jonathan's dad had said earlier. The trust fund, the plan to divorce after a year. "She was scamming you," I said to Trevor. "The business doesn't exist. Her family doesn't have a tech startup. Her dad's a dentist. Her mom teaches preschool." Trevor's face went white again. "You're joking." "I wish I was." Trevor stood up slowly, turning to face Cassandra. His voice was eerily calm. "You stole from me. You conned me out of $200,000. Cassandra backed up against the wall. "It wasn't like that. I was going to pay you back. I just needed time to— "To what?" Trevor demanded. "To marry him and get access to his trust fund? Was that your plan all along? Trust fund?" Cassandra's eyes widened slightly. She'd slipped up. She wasn't supposed to know about that. Jonathan caught it too. You knew about my grandmother's trust fund." Cassandra's mouth opened and closed. No words came out. "Answer me." Jonathan's voice rose. "How long have you known?" I overheard your dad mention it once, at dinner, a few months ago." "Bullshit," Jonathan's dad said, stepping forward. He pulled out his phone and showed Jonathan something. "I did some research after our talk earlier. Cassandra knew about the trust fund before you two even started dating. I found Facebook messages between her and her friends talking about it." He turned the phone so everyone could see. Message after message of Cassandra discussing Jonathan's inheritance, calculating how much she'd get in a divorce, planning her timeline. She knew everything, Jonathan's dad continued. The amount, the marriage requirement, the deadline. And she targeted you specifically because of it. Jonathan looked at Cassandra like he'd never seen her before. Our entire relationship was a lie? No. Cassandra finally found her voice. "I did care about you, Jonathan. I did. It's just the money was there and I needed it. And you needed it?" Jonathan's voice was cold. "For what? More scams? More lies?" Trevor was still standing there looking stunned. "What trust fund? How much are we talking about?" $8 million, Jonathan's dad said. "Inherited from his grandmother. Accessible only after marriage." Cassandra was planning to divorce him exactly 1 year and 1 day after the wedding to claim half. Trevor did the math in his head. $4 million. Plus whatever she stole from our joint accounts, Jonathan added. Then he pulled out his phone. Speaking of which, he pulled up his banking app. I watched his face change as he scrolled through recent transactions. "She drained it," Jonathan said quietly. "This morning, while we were all getting ready, she transferred $50,000 from our joint account to—" "Where did you send it, Cassandra?" Cassandra didn't didn't answer. Jonathan kept scrolling. Multiple transfers. All between 5 and 6 a.m., $50,000. Gone. I felt sick. She was planning to run. Of course she was, Jonathan's dad said. Take the money and disappear, probably to Bali with Trevor here, using his $200,000 as additional funding. Trevor looked like he might throw up. She was going to strand me there, wasn't she? Take all the money and disappear while I was stuck in Bali. Probably, I said. I mean, at this point, nothing would surprise me. That's when Cassandra's parents came back. They must have been waiting outside or something, because they burst through the doors looking frantic. Cassandra, we need to leave, now, her father said urgently. Not so fast, Jonathan said. We're not done here. Cassandra's mother was crying. Please, Jonathan, let us handle this privately. We'll pay you back. We'll make this right. Pay him back? Trevor spoke up. What about me? She stole $200,000 from me. Cassandra's parents froze. They clearly hadn't known about Trevor. How many people did she steal from? Cassandra's dad asked quietly. That's when Stephanie stepped forward. She'd been standing off to the side this whole time, watching everything unfold. She stole from me too, Stephanie said. Her voice was shaking but determined. Last year, $30,000. She said she needed emergency surgery for endometriosis, said her insurance wouldn't cover it, and she'd pay me back within 6 months. Cassandra's mother gasped. Cassie, you didn't. I never had surgery, Cassandra said flatly, like it didn't even matter. I want my money back, Stephanie said. All of it, with interest. Get in line, Trevor muttered. A man in the back of the remaining crowd cleared his throat. I hadn't even noticed he was still there. One of the wedding guests who'd stuck around to see what happened. She took $25,000 from me too, he said. Told me it was for her grandmother's funeral. Said the family was struggling with costs. Both my grandmothers are alive, Cassandra said. Again, no emotion, like she was reading from a script. Another woman stepped forward. She borrowed $25,000 from me, said it was for a down payment on a house, said she'd pay me back when the trust fund came through. Wait, she told this woman about the trust fund too? She promised the trust fund money to multiple people, Jonathan's dad said, piecing it together. She was going to collect all this money, marry Jonathan, access the trust fund, and then disappear before anyone could collect. By now, more people were coming forward. Small amounts mostly, $5,000 here, $3,000 there. But it added up. Someone kept a running tally on their phone. By the time everyone finished sharing their stories, Cassandra had stolen or conned over $80,000 from various people. Most of them were people she called friends, plus the $200,000 from Trevor, plus the $50,000 from Jonathan, $330,000. Cassandra stood there against the wall, her wedding dress now looking ridiculous in the middle of this financial crime confession. Cassandra's father looked like he'd aged 10 years in the last hour. How could you do this, Cassie? These are people who trusted you, people who cared about you. I needed the money, Cassandra shouted. Do you know what it's like growing up with parents who can barely afford anything? Watching my friends go on vacations while we stayed home? Wearing hand-me-downs while everyone else had new clothes? We gave you everything we could, her mother said, tears streaming down her face. Well, it wasn't enough, Cassandra spat. It was never enough. That's when Stephanie spoke up again. Danielle, your phone, the video. Everyone needs to hear what she said about Hannah. Oh, right, the video I'd recorded in the bridal suite. The whole reason this disaster started in the first place. Play it, Jonathan said. His voice was cold, empty. Everyone should hear exactly what kind of person she really is. I pulled out my phone and walked over to the DJ booth. The venue had these high-quality speakers installed throughout the whole building for wedding music and speeches. The DJ helped me connect my phone to the sound system. Are you sure about this? I asked Jonathan quietly. He looked at me with eyes that had seen too much in one day. She destroyed Hannah's self-esteem in front of a handful of people. Now everyone gets to know what she did. I hit play. Cassandra's voice filled the entire venue, every corner, every room, crystal clear through the expensive sound system she'd insisted on renting. I can't have Hannah walking down that aisle looking like that. She'll ruin my $40,000 photographer's vision. The remaining guests, probably about 60 or 70 people who'd stuck around to witness the drama, all went completely silent. You could hear people's breathing. Seriously, Danielle, couldn't you have gotten that thing lasered off before my day? She doesn't fit my aesthetic. I watched faces around the room change. Shock, disgust, horror. Some people covered their mouths. Others shook their heads. An elderly woman near the back said loudly, "Did she just say what I think she said? Thank God Jonathan and I won't have kids that look like that. Can you imagine? I'd die of embarrassment at school pickup." More gasps. Someone said, "Oh my God." The recording continued. You could hear Hannah's small voice asking if she was ugly. You could hear her starting to cry. You could hear my mom dropping the iron. When it finally ended, the silence was deafening. Then people started talking all at once. She said that to a child? An 8-year-old? About a birthmark? Who says something like that? Cassandra's face had gone from defiant to embarrassed to furious. She was red now, not from shame, but from rage. You recorded me? She spun toward me. You had no right to record me. You had no right to verbally abuse my daughter. I shot back. She's 8 years old, Cassandra. 8! And you told her she was ugly. You told her she'd ruin your photos. You said you'd be embarrassed to have kids like her. I was stressed, Cassandra screamed. Every bride has moments. You're all acting like I committed some crime. You did commit crimes, Trevor said. Multiple crimes. Fraud, theft, probably more. The photographer, who'd been quietly documenting everything with his camera this whole time, stepped forward. His camera was still up, still recording. I have everything, he said. His voice was calm but firm. The meltdown about the little girl in the bridal suite, the discovery of the photos, the confrontation with both fiancés, the confession about all the money, all of it. Every single moment captured in 4K resolution. Cassandra's eyes went wide. You can't use that? I'll sue you. Actually, I can, the photographer said. The contract you signed gives me rights to document the wedding and related events. And since you personally hired me and signed that contract, everything that happened here today falls under that agreement. He pulled out his laptop from his equipment bag and opened it on one of the guest tables. People gathered around as he pulled up the footage. It was damning. The angle from the bridal suite where you could clearly see and hear Cassandra's tirade, Hannah's face crumbling, her running too, the bathroom crying, then footage from the main venue showing the confrontation with Trevor, the discovery of all the scams, the recording playing over the speakers. It was all there. I'll make you a deal, the photographer said, looking at Cassandra. Pay me $25,000 right now and I'll keep this footage private. Delete it completely. No one outside this room ever has to see it. $25,000? Cassandra shrieked. That's blackmail. No, that's business, the photographer said calmly. I spent an entire day on this job. I arranged my schedule around your wedding. I turned down other clients, and now the wedding is canceled because of your behavior. I'm out time money and a day's work. $25,000 covers my losses and ensures this footage stays private. He paused. Or I can post a carefully edited version to my professional social media. No faces except yours. No explicit content. Just you verbally attacking a child in the aftermath. I have 50,000 followers in the wedding industry. Other photographers, event planners, florists, caterers, venues. They all follow me for professional content and vendor warnings. Cassandra looked at her parents. Dad? Her father was sitting in a chair, head in his hands. We don't have $25,000, Cassie. We took out a loan just to pay for your dress and the wedding party expenses. Figure it out, Cassandra demanded. No, her father said quietly. I'm done. You did this to yourself. Cassandra turned to Trevor. You have money you could… Are you seriously asking me for money right now? Trevor's voice was incredulous. After you stole $200,000 from me? Jonathan? Cassandra tried one last time. Jonathan just stared at her. You must be joking. The photographer shrugged. Then I guess we're going with option 2. He started typing on his laptop. Let me just edit out the explicit photos, blur everyone else's faces, and focus on the relevant content. Wait! Cassandra lunged toward the laptop, but Stephanie and Jessica grabbed her arms again. The photographer worked quickly. He'd clearly done this kind of editing before. Within minutes, he had a 3-minute video ready. It showed Cassandra's meltdown in the bridal suite with audio, Hannah crying, the confrontation about the photos and scams. Everything important, but edited to protect everyone's identity except Cassandra's. He showed it to a few of us first. It was brutal, professional, damning. This is my final offer, the photographer said to Cassandra. $25,000 right now, or this goes live. Cassandra looked around desperately, at her parents, at Jonathan, at Trevor, at all the people she'd scammed. No one was going to help her. I don't have $25,000, she finally admitted. Her voice was small now. Defeated? Then we're done here, the photographer said. He opened his Instagram app. His profile showed 52,000 followers. Other wedding photographers, event coordinators, venues, caterers, florists. Basically everyone in the wedding industry in the tri-state area. He typed a caption, "This is why I screen my clients carefully. When someone shows you who they really are, believe them. Vendors, protect yourselves. Do your research, trust your instincts." Then he hit post. We all watched in real time as the video uploaded. The progress bar crept across the screen. 25%, 50%, 75%, 100%, posted. Cassandra made us sound like a wounded animal. Within seconds, the first likes and comments started rolling in. OMG, what did I just watch? Is this real? That poor child. Everyone needs to see this. The views started climbing. $100, $500, $1,000. Other wedding professionals started sharing it. A venue owner commented, adding her to our banned list immediately. A caterer wrote, anyone who treats a child like this will never get our services. A florist shared it with the caption, red flags everywhere. Vendors take note. 10 minutes in, the video had 10,000 views. Cassandra was frantically trying to pull out her phone, but her hands were shaking so badly she could barely unlock it. When she finally got it open, her face went even paler. My friends are texting me, my coworkers, oh God, my boss just saw it. 20 minutes later, 50,000 views. The comments were brutal. This is sociopathic behavior. How can someone be so cruel to a child? The scamming is awful, but insulting an 8-year-old is unforgivable. I hope she never works in this industry again. Wedding vendors weren't just commenting. They were creating their own posts, sharing the video, adding her to industry blacklists. Within half an hour, Cassandra's name and face were being circulated among every wedding professional in the region as someone to avoid at all costs. Her phone wouldn't stop buzzing. Text messages, Facebook notifications, Instagram comments, emails, phone calls. Make it stop, Cassandra begged. Please, make it stop. I can't. The photographer said simply, it's viral now. It's out of my hands. An hour after posting, the video hit 500,000 views. News outlets started picking it up. Local news stations, wedding blogs, social media gossip pages. Everyone wanted to know the story of the bride who verbally attacked a child and turned out to be running multiple scams. Cassandra's phone died from all the notifications. She was sitting on the floor now, her expensive wedding dress pooled around her, mascara running down her face. Her parents were crying. Trevor looked shell-shocked. Jonathan just looked empty. Make sure to click on the screen to watch other stories.